بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. In the month of Ramadan, as well as in other months, Islam teaches us how to remember others. Islam is not the religion of selfishness, it is a religion of inclusiveness. So in the month of Ramadan, we are reminded to remember the forgotten ones. Many times you have people somewhere in your community, somewhere in your working environment that are truly forgotten. Stories do emerge from time to time about the people who have been forgotten by the community. And those stories are really painful and very sad. So, here is an opportunity how to remember the forgotten ones and how to introduce some elements of happiness into them. Let us begin to identify who do we mean by the forgotten ones. It could be the orphans. Usually orphans are forgotten by the community. In the Holy Quran, Almighty Allah puts an emphasis in remembering the poor and specifically the orphans. And He indicates that looking after them is a virtue. The Prophet of Islam did also say that those who look after orphans and sponsor orphans, they are going to be my companion in the heaven. And he says, أنا وكافل اليتيم كهاتين في الجنة. Me and the one who sponsors or looks after the orphans are like these two in the blissful heaven. In other words, a companion that is always with the Prophet. Those are the rewards of looking after orphans. In communities, how many children do we know that have lost either a father or a mother or both of them? Such children not only need a shelter, food and clothing, but they also need some elements of compassion, elements of caring, they need elements of love, and I think as a community we can afford to do that. Sometimes because of the limited means are unable also to have a bit of entertainment. So taking such children out for a day, for a picnic, for a weekend, or visiting them, introducing some elements of happiness into their lives would go a long way. Another category of the forgotten ones are the poor and needy. Sometimes they suffer quietly. They don't want to go and beg, nor do they want to know the community, for the community to know that they are in need. They have that element of dignity. They choose to live an easy, comfortable, or sometimes meeting only the basic necessities. They choose to suffer silently because they have the dignity. Visiting such people to their homes and seeing and experiencing and observing at first hand would go a long way to awaken our compassion. So in Islam we are also told to remember them. You have another community sometimes that is forgotten. People travel to go and seek a living. They leave their family behind. They are there as strangers. They are there to seek a living so that they could make their families, give their families a better life. But there could be times that such people have difficulties. They may fall sick. They may be ill. They may be admitted in hospitals and no one visits them. Visiting people at hospital, standing there, comforting them, asking about their health, giving them a small gift would go a long way to give them that wonderful feeling that someone out there truly cares about me. We are human. We all need that human touch. We need that element of care. And in so doing, we can be greatly rewarded. For if we remember the forgotten ones today, they will remember us tomorrow, when probably we could be the forgotten ones. Another category of forgotten ones are the elders. Sometimes even own children forget their elders. And sometimes they only stick with immediate parents. Take uncles, take aunts, take grandfathers, grandmothers, or someone who is not related to you, but is an old person. Usually old people are lonely. The reason they are lonely is because a lot of people think they have nothing to offer. But they are lacking that quality time with people. When they are visited with their children, usually it is just a visit of a courtesy, just to fulfill the obligations, to ensure that the provisions are being met. Elder people don't want only that. They want also to have a decent conversation, someone to be interested in them, to be interested in their history. So next time you visit an elder, please pay attention and get engaged in a conversation with them, listen to them attentively, and you will find that you are tapping into a lot of wisdom, and they will truly enjoy that moment. We have another category of probably the forgotten ones. You have the laborers, people who clean our streets, people who are doing probably dirty jobs, people who appear to be lonely again, people who clean buildings, people who look after buildings. Sometimes no one speaks to them. They seem to be doing their job, but nobody stops there to have a conversation with them. So the next time you drive around, or you pass by a person who is doing cleaning, or he is looking after buildings, who is guarding buildings, someone who appears to be lonely doing their job, cutting the grass, looking after gardens, or whatever job they're doing, stop for 5 minutes or even 3 minutes. Greet them, ask their name, ask them about their job, show an interest in them. Doing that alone would show them that we are human, we do care for each other. So my dear viewers, we have an opportunity to instill happiness into others. We are told by the Prophet of Islam, a smile is also a charity. So let us go and spread some smiles around and bring some happiness into people to make sure that we can look after each other. Today, we may not need the support of others, but certainly tomorrow there will come a time when we need that support. So let us offer, let us give before we ask. All the best.